I promise you, no spoilers in this review whatsoever. Hey, what's going on with people from the streets? You can tell the scenery is a little bit different. Also the lighting is a little bit different. It's a bit more amber as opposed to the bright white that you normally see in my reviews. That is because I'm currently in Ohio. I still managed to get to see Avengers Endgame on the day of release, at least as far as the US is concerned. And I'm very, well, I saw it before the day of release, but still, we're gonna do this review, as always, spoiler free. You know I don't drop spoilers in my reviews unless I'm specifically gonna state that, and that's after about a week of the movie being out. So expect one later on this week, maybe, possibly the week after, because I will be in Florida at Disney World because I'm on vacation, but you know, gotta have some fun, some hobbies while I'm on vacation as well, and that's what this is for. So we're gonna break this review down into, I guess you could say the kind of normal, everyday, average MCU viewer, or just a moviegoer, and then the nerd review will also be there as well within this, of course. But first things first, did I like this movie? 100%, I enjoyed this movie. Absolutely. Let me explain why I did like this movie. So it was literally visually, this movie, bro, this movie is visually one of the best things I've seen in a very long time. I mean, graphically, it looks real. I did have some issues with the way Thanos looked sometimes, but overall, great visually. When you're in space, it was awesome. When you're on Earth, it was awesome. The suits looked really good. It didn't feel like anything was kind of forced at all, and it's just amazing. And the acting itself, the acting is, woo, oh boy, the acting. You feel what these characters are going through. In this movie, you will be on a roller coaster of emotion, and that's exactly what you want from basically what is 11 years culminating into 1 3-hour and 2-minute movie. If we're not counting the credits, probably more like 2 hours and 57 seconds or something like that, because those credits are long. Speaking of the credits, I just have to let you know, there is no end credit scene itself, be it post or mid or anything like that. However, there is a sound after the credits have dropped. I don't know what it means yet, but wait for that sound, and if you know what it is, you'll be happy. There's many theories that I'm trying to work on right now and see if I can do a video for you guys, but that's besides the point. This movie, yes, visually great, acting great. The pacing of it, I enjoyed the pacing of it. I think it kind of did exactly what I said it was going to do in the trailers. The first was a bit slow, second showed the action, the third was the culmination of all the things, everything together, and I think that is the great way to do it. Without giving too much away in terms of that, I kind of have to stop what I really liked, apart from like the action scenes, they were really good. The dialogue was really good, but again, saying too much would reveal what happens in the movie, and I don't want to do that for you guys. So let's talk about what I didn't like, which is kind of contradictory to that last comment. Was the pacing is that when it was slow, aka the first act, it felt like, all right, cool, what are we gonna get somewhere soon? Because there wasn't anything going on in terms of like what I was waiting for. I guess I spent some time comparing it to Infinity War, which is probably the worst thing that you could do, but it was good and it was enjoyable. The second act, exactly as I said, was a lot of action, whether it be dialogue or the actual physical action, fighting and so on. And the third act, boy, that third act, it got real. It got really real. It got really real. But it was great, and I loved every moment of it. Like I said, you will be on an emotional roller coaster on this. There's plenty of ups, downs, ins and outs, and all arounds. You will not be disappointed with this movie. Now, in terms of being a normie, as it were, just some dude or girl or whatever going to see this movie on the street, will you enjoy this movie? Honestly, I think you will, because what you're gonna get is a great sci-fi movie. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen anything sci-fi, directly sci-fi outside of the MCU. So I don't know what the scene is like these days, but in terms of what I know of sci-fi and what I like of sci-fi, you're gonna have a good time with this movie, with the space part of it, the Earth part of it, everything else that goes on in between that. Great. In terms of the character connections, the dynamics, gonna have a great time with that as well. In terms of someone that loves the MCU and probably hasn't really read much on the comics or got into comics because of the MCU, again, you will enjoy this movie because of the connections it does have with the comics, and they go into it and you can relate, all right, cool, I can see what they did here, I can see what they did there, and so on. So that's really cool. And in relation to the MCU part of that as well, so many dots are connected from previous movies that you would see and say, oh, all right, I can see how that connects to that and so on. And that is really cool. I think that's a strong point of the MCU, is that it connects its movies all together and exactly what this movie should be, going from Iron Man 1 back in 2008 all the way up into this movie of 2009, Avengers Endgame. it does a great job of connecting everything and all the characters involved in this movie in a very similar fashion to Infinity War. And that was amazing. So 2 points for that. Now, as someone who is a nerd going in to see this movie, will you enjoy it? I think you will enjoy it, but I think you will have some hiccups with this movie, with what it's done with some of the characters. There are a lot of nice references that reference, again, not going to go into it because it will be a spoiler. It will reference a lot of things in the comics that, as a nerd and someone who probably knows more about the comics rather than just a couple comics here and there. Like, admittedly, myself, when it comes to this storyline, I do not know a lot of it, but I know enough to know what I know. That makes sense. But yes, this movie, as a nerd, you will enjoy it, but there are going to be a couple hiccups here and there. You're going to be like, that's just stupid. Why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. And then there's going to be other moments you're going to be like, yo, that is amazing. I can't believe they did that. So I think on those 3 points, it's a win for Disney. It's a win for Marvel. It's a win for the audience, the moviegoers, the people that paid to go see this movie. Well, I generally get in movies for free, but you see what I'm getting at. The people who spent their time watching this movie, who spent their time traveling, this movie is a win on so many points. I cannot stress that enough. And for my, I guess you could say, my final verdict, what I always do is this worth going to the cinema, the movie theater to go see? Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, to take away from the review right now, it's what is the culmination. I mean, so many people thought the culmination is Infinity War, and it wasn't, because those who knew from ages ago it's Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. Then they changed it from Infinity War, and now what is Endgame? And this right now is the culmination of effectively 11 years and 21, and this is the 22nd movie, I believe, of filmmaking from how many different directors and actors, individual movies. It brings everything together, and it's been hyped up since Infinity War finished. And then we had, I believe, Spider-Man Homecoming, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Captain Marvel in between 3 movies. And then we had to wait for Endgame, and now it's here. And when you leave that movie theater, you are going to probably be thinking about it for a while. You're probably going to be stressed for a little bit, considering what happens in the movie throughout the whole movie. You're going to be annoyed, you're going to be sad, you're going to be happy. But I think by the end of the movie, I think most importantly, you will feel satisfied. And that's what any moviegoer wants. And I know for sure that's what I want from a movie when I go see it, whatever it is. And definitely this movie, Avengers Endgame, you will feel satisfied. Anyways, dudes, yeah, that was that. And yeah, this movie, greatness. Surprisingly, I didn't say this at the beginning of the video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that jazz. If you can share this with your friends and family, that'd be amazing. You know what? If you didn't like the movie, then, you know, probably share it with your enemies, and then they'll have to suffer as well. And then hopefully they click on the video and they like it. Or if they don't, you know what's going on right now. There's going to be videos in this area. I'm not quite sure because of the whole different setup and so on. But yeah, videos to watch, subscription, and somewhere in this area. I don't know. Different area. Dudes, as always, I still don't have a sign off yet. So, peace.